The bold and the beautiful spoilers document that Steffy Forrester Finnegan is glad her mother is back in town, but she is unaware of the potentially fatal secret that Taylor Hayes is keeping. Lai Nozawa believed Taylor wanted to see her to discuss reopening her psychiatry practice. But the recast character Budig is portraying shared confidence that's put Lai in a terrible bind. Sharing a veiled story with John Finn Finnegan allowed Lai to unburden herself slightly. Viewers suspected it could also be an opening for the light to shine in daytime. There is no way that Taylor will die of heart failure, with only Lai knowing that was coming. So fans are thinking strategically. What would be the next logical step to further this storyline? Taylor could share her diagnosis, or what she believes is correct, with one of the colleagues Lai recommended. Taylor was open to doing so and following through on that suggestion, which would allow the diagnosis to be confirmed and then acted upon. Although Taylor might tell a loved one, as Lai suggested, Steffy would be the right choice because of the maternal bond and Thomas Forrester being out of the country. Taylor wants to protect her family, including Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K. So she seems unlikely to tell him or anyone what was shared with Lai. Steffy just survived the horrific kidnapping and near-fatal death. It was highly probable that Luna Nozawa's Lisa Yamada third murder would have happened. Wood's character would have been crushed inside the metal cage where Luna intended to leave her inside the apartment building set for demolition. But Finn trailed his cousin, busted through that locked door. Luna ran out, and Steffy's hero knocked off that padlock and saved her. Considering the summer thriller that just wrapped, Taylor can't tell her daughter this fall tale? Come on. If Lai were Taylor's doctor, she would be obliged to keep her secret. But Taylor spoke with Lai because they are fellow mothers-in-law. As a psychiatrist, Taylor understands the inner workings of the minds of her patients, but she also knows her mind. So confiding in Lai might be a subconscious way of beginning the process of sharing this painful truth with her loved ones, which includes Lai as an extended family member. Lai didn't have to broach the topic of Taylor's diagnosis with Finn, but did so purposefully. That is also her way of potentially sharing the truth with him. He doesn't deserve to know, but if he does learn about Taylor, he will share that knowledge with Steffy or compel his mother-in-law to do so. The sun had begun its descent behind the hills of Los Angeles, casting a golden glow over the Forrester estate. It was a serene evening, but the tension within the Forrester mansion was anything but calm. Steffy Forrester sat in the living room, her mind swirling with thoughts. She could feel something was off, something deep within her bones, a sense that her world was about to shift. But she had no idea just how much the truth, long kept hidden from her and her husband Finn, would unravel their lives. Steffy had always prided herself on being resilient, strong, and capable of handling any storm that came her way. She had faced loss, betrayal, and heartbreak before. But this time, it was different. This time, the stakes were higher, and the person she loved most in the world, her husband John Finn Finnegan, was unknowingly at the center of a devastating secret. In the past few weeks, Steffy had noticed the distance growing between them. Finn, usually so open and honest, had been acting distracted, like something was weighing on him, but he wouldn't let her in. The secrecy was killing her, and Steffy couldn't shake the feeling that it had something to do with his mother, Lee Finnegan. Lai had always been a mystery to Steffy. She admired the woman for her strength and determination, but there was something about her that felt distant, guarded. Lai loved Finn fiercely, but it was clear that she held back. Steffy had always wondered what secrets Lai was keeping, and now it seemed those secrets were threatening her marriage. At that very moment, in a small, dimly lit room on the other side of town, Lai sat at a desk, staring at an old photograph of Finn as a child. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she quickly brushed them away, her stoic mask slipping back into place. For years, she had held on to this secret, believing it was for the best, that she was protecting her son from pain. But now, the weight of the truth was becoming unbearable. She knew she couldn't hide it any longer. Lai's mind raced. She had made a choice all those years ago, one that had shaped Finn's entire life. But with every passing day, the lie grew heavier, threatening to crush the foundation of her family. Finn deserved to know the truth, and so did Steffy. They both had a right to understand the full scope of their lives, no matter how painful that truth might be. But could she really do it? Could she really tell Finn that the life he thought he knew was built on a lie? Back at the Forrester mansion, Finn entered the living room, his face etched with concern. He had just finished a long shift at the hospital, but it wasn't the exhaustion from work that troubled him. It was the growing chasm between him and Steffy. He could sense her frustration, her need for answers. But how could he provide them when he didn't even know the full truth himself? "Steffy, we need to talk," Finn said, his voice quiet but firm. He sat down beside her, reaching for her hand. Steffy looked at him, her brown eyes filled with worry and love. "Finn, what's going on? You've been distant, and I feel like you're hiding something from me. Whatever it is, we can face it together, but you need to tell me." Finn sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I wish I knew, Steffy. I feel like there's something my mom isn't telling me, something important. She's been acting strange lately, and I can't shake the feeling that it's about my past. I just don't know what." Steffy squeezed his hand. "We need to find out, Finn. Whatever it is, it's affecting us, and I won't let anything come between us. If Lay knows something, she needs to tell us. We deserve the truth." Lay stood outside the Forrester mansion, her heart pounding in her chest. She hadn't planned to come here tonight, but something inside her had driven her to the doorstep of her son's home. She could no longer keep this secret buried. It was time to face the consequences of her actions. Taking a deep breath, Lay rang the doorbell. Within moments, the door swung open, revealing Finn standing in the entryway. His face lit up with surprise, and a flicker of concern crossed his features when he saw the troubled look in his mother's eyes. "Mom, what are you doing here?" Finn asked, stepping aside to let her in. Lay hesitated for a moment before stepping inside. "I need to talk to both of you," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "There's something I've been keeping from you, something you deserve to know." Steffy joined them in the hallway, her curiosity piqued. She could sense the gravity of the moment and braced herself for whatever was about to be revealed. "Mom, what's going on?" Finn asked again, his voice laced with concern. "You're scaring me." Lay's hands trembled as she took a deep breath. "Finn, Steffy, there's something I need to tell you, something I should have told you a long time ago." Finn exchanged a worried glance with Steffy, his heart racing. He had always known there was something his mother wasn't telling him, but he never imagined it would come to this. Lay's eyes filled with tears as she spoke the words she had dreaded for years. "Finn, I'm not your biological mother." The room fell silent, the weight of the revelation sinking in. Finn stared at Lay in shock, his mind struggling to process what he had just heard. Steffy, too, was speechless, her heart aching for her husband. "I adopted you when you were a baby," Lay continued, her voice cracking. "Your biological mother, she couldn't care for you, so I took you in and raised you as my own. I thought I was protecting you, but I see now that I should have told you the truth from the beginning." Finn stumbled back, his world spinning out of control. Everything he thought he knew about his life, his family, had just been shattered. He looked at Lay, the woman who had raised him, loved him, and protected him all his life. And yet, in this moment, he felt like he didn't know her at all. "Why?" Finn whispered, his voice filled with hurt and confusion. "Why didn't you tell me?" Lay's tears flowed freely now. "I was afraid, Finn. Afraid that you wouldn't love me the same way if you knew the truth. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I see now that I was wrong. You deserve to know who you are, and I'm sorry for keeping this from you." Steffy stepped forward, placing a comforting hand on Finn's arm. "Finn, we'll get through this," she whispered. "Together." Finn stood there, torn between the love he felt for the woman who had raised him and the anger at the lie that had shaped his entire life. The truth had finally come out, and now he and Steffy would have to face the fallout together. But one thing was clear. Steffy had been right all along. She and Finn deserved the truth, and now they would have to figure out what that truth meant for their future.